Good afternoon, Sports Insanity Network fans. It's Mark Oldhoff, Sky Halpern here on the Sports Insanity Network. I am joined by my PIC, Vice President Danny Boy Reginald, Super Knicks fan. And we're going to get into why he's a Super Knicks fan in this episode. He didn't know we're going to be featuring something on Dan, so Dan better be ready. Dan has a feature he doesn't know about. So the last time we were visited, we were at the end of a four-game losing streak, and it's hard to swallow four games.
Mm.
Two happens at times, maybe three by unfair chance, but four in a row, it takes a blow. And the Knicks needed a nice win, and we're going to bring that into the Clippers game, and which started out with our fantastic 0 and 4 Knicks. That's what I wanted to call them. The 0 and 4 Knicks coming back at it. So this is the brand new for them. The usual suspects came in, but this was a game that everybody chipped in. This wasn't just one 20-point game. No, we had three 20-pointers with Cat, OG, and Brunson with 26. McBride and Bridges both with 15. The bench was a little quiet, except for Jordan Clarkson, who used the most of his minutes, who had 12 points. One thing that I want to point out is something that has to start changing. In this game, the Knicks only shot 15 of 42 from 3 point, and that's 36%. I mean, I understand if you're one player shooting 36 to 40%, that's good, but you got to do better as a team.
Mhm.
Dan, this was a Clippers team that is not overly strong. They're not in the high up rankings, but this was a game the Knicks needed.
They need for sure. And you know, the Clippers have been playing a lot better of late before that Knick game. So this was not some uh win that was easy and everything. Like the Clippers have actually been playing some good basketball. So um it was a very good win. The Clippers actually they were like on our tails for about three quarters into the game. They had all their players, doing very well. It was good to see the action from their starters again, with the Brunsons and Cat and everything. The OG Anunoby doing his thing. I'm very happy to see that they woke up a bit and started playing well. Um, and again, most of the production has been coming from the starters of late. Um, which we all know in order for the Knicks to really be dominant, everybody, including the bench, has to come through. But the starters, whatever they did was enough, and Knicks were able to pull away in the fourth quarter.
For the LA Clippers, game highs for Kawhi Leonard, who, by the way, I've always liked as a ball player. I just want to say
Mhm.
that out there.
I
I've
love
always liked to
Kawhi.
watch him play.
Kawhi's great.
It's just a great player. I just like to watch him on the floor. And 20-point games from obvious, well, I don't like to say obvious, nothing's a guarantee anymore. James Harden and Ivan Kostubac. What I can say about the Clippers bench is non-existent, and that was one of the bigger differences in this game is that yeah, your starters were putting up some good numbers except for Chris Dunn. No offense, guy. Somebody's got to get the low number. Um, so things happen, but the Knicks win this one and snap that losing streak, which needed to go away, and
Yes.
then on to the Phoenix Suns. Now this was going off at excuse me. This was going off at 1 point favored Knicks opening on FanDuel and on Fanatics, which when you weight it back and forth, you look at both teams. 1 point, seemed pretty fair. Both teams are at the front of their divisions. Both teams have numerous all stars. And, let's get into it. Knicks took the loss, unfortunately, 107-112. Game high from Jalen Brunson, 27 points. The entire Knicks starting team averaged 34.5 minutes on the floor,
Mhm.
and the bench was not as used as much as the Knicks had to really go toe to toe with this team comprised of Royce O'Neal, Dylan Brooks. Let's not forget one of my favorites, Devin Booker, and Mark Williams. It's hard to ask any secondary unit to try to keep with this Suns front unit there.
Yeah, no, this Phoenix Suns team is very good, and um their starters played like it. Obviously, Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker leading the charge. Um, Devin Booker is awesome. Like where would the Suns be without him, man?
Right.
He was incredible all night. Really couldn't miss. And then the Knicks starters were no match, no more than 27 points out of Brunson. Of course, we expect Jalen Brunson to be the big time scorer in every game. But unlike the game against the Clippers, a lot of the points not really a contributing factor. I know the Knicks tried to make a comeback late or, and make an attempt, didn't really work out. But look, they only lost by 5, so that's at least they were competitive enough. But no, I need to see a little more production. Like, when you're only getting 15 out of Anunoby and Cat stuff. And then, of course, we got better bench production in this game with Clarkson with 12, Robinson with 8, and then, of course, Robinson continues to get these ridiculous amount of rebounds, 14 of them. So, at least the Knicks were getting those second chance points and stuff. So it was helping them out, but it wasn't enough. Like you need to have your starters come out and really, really rock, and it wasn't quite there offensively for them.
And it's not like the Knicks got blown out. They were
No.
right up against it.
Yeah, it was a
Great. It was a
competitive
good,
game.
yeah, good game on both sides of the ball for both teams. Expect to see this, could be, could be. We'll worry about it. I
Yeah,
mean, it could be. Dan, you are a super Knicks fan.
at least I try to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And you did something this week that for the six man up that was great. You called an audible on a game. And you went live for a Knicks game. The reactions you got and everything were great. I want to hear why you did it. What made you all of a sudden Spurs go in?
Yeah, yeah. I hadn't done it in a while, but I love how the thing with the Knicks is, that really gets my juices going, Mark, is the fact that they're my first love. The Yankees are my favorite team all time, but the Knicks were my first love. Like if the Knicks win, I always will be happy. It's like no daddy's little boy type of thing. So
Mhm.
like the Knicks are always my first love. And um whenever I go live with them, there's a joy. So expect more out of it. I love doing those reactions because they give me so much joy, especially with this era of Knicks basketball. I did it because I wanted to. Like it was a perfect time to do it. So expect more of it in 2020. I haven't really done it much in this season, but I expect more, especially around playoff time. You know?
So if you want to go see what I'm talking about, if you go over to YouTube and you put in the Sports Insanity page, you can go see Dan's reaction
Mm.
and say it.
And I've
And
done
I'm not kidding you. We've gotten 4 new followers because of that post. So we want to thank you all who have joined newly.
yeah.
Um, Moving on, the New York Knicks took on the Portland Trail Blazers this past day, and Knicks came away with the win 123 to 114. Our game, oops, sorry, lost my box score there for a second.
You're
Put it
good.
back up. Game highs from, again, OG Anunoby with 24, Brunson 26, Cat with 20, and both. I'm sorry, like I'm gonna say a name I haven't said in a while. I gotta make sure I know how to say it right. We got Mikal Bridges with 18, but we got Josh Hart, 18 points, 6 assists, And I'm kind of glad he didn't go overly crazy on the rebound.
Hmm.
That he came in there easy. Josh Hart is back. And I
And,
say that with such exuberance.
mm,
Because Josh Hart, look, Jalen Brunson, baby. I love Jalen. And, Dan said something when he was talking about his first love. The New York Mets are my favorite team ever. And that's possibly a surprise to Dan. The Knicks come in third, and the Dallas Cowboys come in second. My first thing I ever went to, though, was a New York Knicks basketball game with my dad.
yeah.
So I understand Dan's point with when he's saying, the Yankees are his favorite team of all time, and but the Knicks are first love. So I absolutely get that, and it's kind of funny that it's on like the same way. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, and off the bench, you had big contribution from Mitchell Robinson on the rebounds. And McBride had an off night. He just couldn't seem to find his shot. Was more valuable as dishing the ball around as he did pick up 3 assists on the game. Um, Dan, this was a great win against not an easy team.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously the record doesn't show for Portland, but I will say that this is that they're a strong team. Again, it's not quite there yet. They've had a pretty up and down year and stuff, but they got some tough dogs there. So this was not an easy victory here, and uh, great contribution. Again, a massive chunk of the minutes going to the starters. Um, do I like Anunoby playing for 34 minutes? Not necessarily. It's obviously it's not 38 minutes, which is really
Right.
outrageous. But yeah, man, no, it was great to see the Knicks really, really as I'm getting an ESPN alert. Ooh. Um uh
Hot Mike.
I'll just say this for a second. Knicks did very well. Again, not necessarily great defensively. They scored 114 points on them to Portland did, but the Knicks were able to always counter back and again, great solid minutes. You got good solid minutes out of Mitchell Robinson. Um, Not much of the bench being used of late, but I guess I'm okay with that. As long as you have Juice and you have Mitch, really coming in and being a big force. And then, of course, the return of Josh Hart. How do you not love Josh Hart?
Yeah.
We have missed his presence, and it is just it was incredible for him to watch him all over the floor. Again, not really getting much out of the defensive end, but he did have a couple of steals. So
Yep.
and a block. So
Yeah.
we'll take that
And a block.
along with his 18 points and all that stuff. It
Right.
was great to watch. Real quick,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis to undergo hand surgery and miss several months. Mavs are
Right.
also renewing trade talks with multiple teams. So obviously the tenure with the Dallas Mavericks for Anthony Davis has been pretty
It's
rocky.
over with.
Like he hasn't really played much. He's hurt. When he does play, he's not a big factor. Like, it is
How valuable. How
turning out to be
valuable.
one of the worst trades they've made.
Personally, if I worked for Mark Cuban, I would have never let Doncic go.
Yeah.
Sorry. No offense, Mark Cuban, not a sponsor of
Yeah.
us in any way.
Yeah.
No offense. And I'm sure you had your reasons, and you're the owner. That's how it goes.
I mean, it was it was that what Nico Harrison guy, right? That made the
Yeah,
trade. Obviously Mark Cuban not really as involved. I think he's still within operations and
I
all
think
that
he's
stuff.
president of operations of the Dallas
Yeah,
Mavericks.
and I think Mark Cuban did hire Nico Harrison as the GM back in the day, obviously. This was like a few years ago.
Yeah.
He's the one that made that trade for
Yeah.
with Anthony Davis and Luca. So, Yeah, man, it is that trade. Like, I know what Dallas was trying to do there, and look, they obviously they're going to be fine. They have Flag, they have all these big
Yeah.
time scores now. They're going to be fine eventually. But they were supposed to bring Anthony Davis to be a big force, and it's looking pretty bad.
Hmm.
Like,
So you figure, yeah, Davis's season is over yet again due to
yeah,
injury,
and
but
now they're
now
gonna.
multiple trade options that puts every team back in value. So
Oh,
any team can go make a deal, whether it be the lowest of the bids that are high, it might be so low that you just take what you can get.
yeah.
And it's kind of a shame to see a player of his caliber. I mean, he made the unibrow pretty cool,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis.
He is never healthy. He had injury issues
That's
with the Lakers too.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, and we all and everybody thought the combination of him and LeBron were going to bring the countless
Yeah.
trophies and whatnot.
It got them the COVID trophy.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. But
It did something, but it
yeah,
didn't do exactly what they wanted to do. So,
right. I mean, look, um, so this was a great win by the Knicks, 123-114. The Knicks are, excuse me, losing my voice here for a second.
yeah.
The Knicks are playing tomorrow night against the Sacramento Kings in Sacramento at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
This will be another good game. The Knicks are just gonna have to keep up the same intensity. And with the return of Josh Hart, it should help keep a player healthier on the bench, give him more rest time, such as Anobi or Bridges, where Hart can fill in very strongly. Trust me, if I think Josh Hart was asked to play center, he'd do it. So,
Yeah.
but that
I'm not loving the Knicks on the road lately. They've been kind of scaring me on the road, especially on the West Coast. Um, so watch out for that.
yeah. Other news in the NBA, almost like cut out before even talking about it. James Harden passes Shaq for ninth on the all-time scoring list. Okay, congratulations. You want to make sure you give him. We want to make sure we give everybody, their just due. What
Yeah.
was a great thing in Toronto the other night for Larry, even though it was a blowout, they brought him back in for the last minute and 30 seconds so he could wave off to his fans from Toronto. Now that he's with the 76ers, this will be his final year. That was kind of nice that they did that for him so he could get that kind of wave off where he won the championship with Toronto back in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah. It was obviously, he hasn't made it like officially official, but it's looking like it's going to be um a final appearance in Toronto. Look, I think for him, it was just it's extra special knowing what he brought to this, what he helped bring to the city. Even though Kawhi was the number one guy, what he
Right.
helped bring to the city, him being there for 9 years, it was a great, he was excellent with the Raptors. So to have him, have the fan show that appreciation was pretty awesome. And, you know, obviously whatever he decides, it's always good to go out on a high note, and he still has plenty of season left here. At 39 years old, he has plenty of time to really make a mark with the Sixers. So let's see what they do.
And the team I love talking about, especially when they're down.
Hmm.
And I thought the Knicks were shooting bad from three the other night. 8 for 36 from three-point land against the Sacramento Kings. I don't care who you're playing. You can't go 8 for 36 against anybody and expect to come out with a win. I,
Uh,
I,
t
I-
Tough loss.
Yeah. And then lastly, Rudy Gobert has received a 1 game suspension due to the number of flagrant fouls he kind of picked up over the course of the season. He's nowhere in the Draymond Green area, but the arrows are moving quite fast. So he's taking the suspension, and taking the night off, so to speak.
Yeah,
That will do it for this. That'll
he's a
do it for
tough,
this.
tough one,
What?
tough cookie. Sorry, he's
Yeah.
a tough cookie.
That'll do it for this episode of the Six Man Up here on the Sports Insanity Network. Dan, where can they like and follow us?
You can follow us here on the YouTube channel, Sports Sandy Network. Uh, like this video or all our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit that bell for notifications, and then of course the socials at S Insanity Real, Facebook and X.
Yes, and a lot of our stuff goes up on X and is boosted courtesy of the Dugout of Millwood as we are trying to turn a new leaf here in 2026. And one of them is bringing back basketball. That was one of our biggest goals was to bring back basketball, and Dan and I have kept to it. And let me tell you, it's great doing with the fellow Knicks fans. So it's always, well, you know what to expect from each other because you know who we're rooting for.
Yeah.
Please follow us. Like Dan said, hit that bell for the notifications. For Mark Oldup, Sky Halpern, along with Vice President Danny Boy Reginald, stay safe. We'll catch you on the flip side.